First of all, I'd first like to express the BPS's condolences to the family and friends of a 24-year-old Pembroke resident, Mr. Lorenzo Stovell, who tragically lost his life this Sunday evening. The murder of Mr. Stovell represents the third death caused by the use of a firearm in Bermuda this year. 4 persons have been shot and injured in 2012 of this year. The Bermuda Police Service recognizes that this incident will undoubtedly impact the local community. We want to reassure the community that the Bermuda Police Service will use all of its resources to bring the offender or offenders to justice. It is important to note that the expectation is for everyone to remain calm and allow us to do our job to catch the gunman involved. This cannot be done alone, and we rely on the people of Bermuda to come forward and assist the police to make Bermuda safer. I am therefore encouraging everyone, anyone with information or knowledge of this incident to make contact with the detectives in this case. I'm now going to hand you over to the OIC of the Serious Crime Unit, Chief Inspector Nicholas Pedro.
Good morning. Thank you, sir. Good morning, everyone. Mr. Howard, as he said, he gave brief details on the tragic loss of Mr. Stovell at about 11:43 p.m. last night. I'm just going to give you a brief investigative update on the circumstances that we know them so far and where we're going as we go forward. Police received several 911 calls at about 11:43 last night of shots fired on Malabar Road in the area across from Woody's Bar. The circumstances that we know so far are that the victim and several female friends were on a party bus traveling to various locations across the island, celebrating the birthday of one of the females involved. The victim, who has been already identified by Mr. Howard as Lorenzo Stovell, a 24-year-old male from Pembroke, was mostly paralyzed, having been shot on a previous occasion. He remained on the bus while the females he was in the company with went into Woody's to celebrate. We understand the bus had been there for some time, about an hour or just over an hour, when the gunman or gunmen approached the bus, firing several shots into the bus. The driver of the bus drove the victim to Port Royal Fire Station, where attempts to resuscitate him were unsuccessful. He was declared dead a short time later. I'd just like to take this opportunity to pass on the investigative team's sincere condolences to the family and friends of Mr. Stovell. We have a family liaison officer from the Bermuda Police Service assisting the family, and to help them understand the process and deal with all the obvious issues that come out of the loss of a loved one. A full investigative team from the Serious Crime Unit is investigating this incident and have been working through the night since this incident occurred. And we are pursuing a number of investigative leads. An overseas forensic pathologist is flying in and will be conducting an autopsy in the near future. We are obviously keen to speak with anyone that may have been in the vicinity of Woody's Bar or Malabar Road at the time of this incident. I am not going to release any information regarding the suspect at this time. The investigation is in its infancy and we are pursuing a number of investigative leads. Again, we have seen the tragic loss of life unfold in our community, and as Mr. Howard said, I'd like to reiterate that we want to encourage anyone that knows anything about this incident to assist detectives in bringing the offender or offenders to justice. There are a number of ways that the public will be familiar with contacting the police. You can call the main police number on 295-0011, or you can call the independent and confidential Crime Stoppers on 800-TIPS, which is also 8477. Thank you. If there's any questions, I'll take a few questions, or Mr. Howard, we can take a few questions.
Mr. Pedro, did the suspect enter the bus? Because there are no obvious signs of gunshots in the bus itself on cursory glance.
Like I said, I'm not going to release the details of the investigation at this point. We have an understanding of what we believe happened, but we're not releasing those details at the moment.
Do you
Based on the circumstances, and yeah, we believe, excuse me, there is a gang aspect to this, but obviously the evidence will dictate where the investigation goes. But you can appreciate, given the circumstances of how this happened, it would appear to be at least gang related on the part of the suspect.
Are there any descriptions of any suspects?
Yeah, like I said, I'm not releasing those investigations. That information at this point, because we are pursuing a number of leads. So. Really, we're just going to deal with the issues that we've alluded to so far at the moment. So.
Was the driver hurt?
No one else was injured other than the victim.
Was the victim in a wheelchair?
No, he was not. No. But as I said, he was partially paralyzed from having been shot on a previous occasion, so he wasn't mobile.
Have any weapons been recovered?
No weapons have been recovered as yet.
Is anyone in custody?
There's no one in custody as yet. Yeah.
Is there a twist to this case that's abnormal?
Can you clarify the question? I don't.
More and more rumors on the street. We can't really substantiate rumors, but say this may be an inside job because he wanted to leave the game.
Like I said, we conduct a full and thorough investigation. We wouldn't comment on something like that. That's the evidence will take us where we go. We've spoken to a number of people in the area, a number of witnesses, and we're getting all the forensic evidence together. But there's nothing to sort of lead us any one way or the other as yet.
Where the bus was located when this incident took place, is it reasonable to think that people at Woody's could actually see?
We know there was a number of people outside Woody's and inside Woody's at the time. So our appeal here today is to encourage those people to come forward and tell us what they saw. We've spoken to a number of people that were there at the time of police arrival, but obviously there may have been some people that didn't stay and speak to the police, and we're very keen to speak with those people.
Was there a cycle recovered on Kitchener Road last night?
I'm not going to comment on anything related to that.
In recent shooting cases, we've seen the victim being transported by private vehicle. Is that a concern for the BPS as far as preservation of the scene?
I think you have to bear in mind that the preservation of life is always the first concern, and we have to deal with the evidence that we're presented with. So if it comes down to a choice between having the evidence and saving someone's life, saving someone's life will always come first. So that's the circumstances we get dealt with, and that's what we have to deal with. So. Yeah,
so sorry, I missed it. The victim was left alone in the bus while folks went across the road to Woody's, did you say?
We believe he was in the bus with the driver. Yeah, so the people that he was with had left the bus. Okay.
How's the mental state of the driver?
We're not doctors, so as far as his mental state, we can't comment on that. But as Mr. Pedro did allude to, we do have a FLO who is there to assist the victim's family, and if it's deemed necessary that the driver needs assistance, the FLO will assist the driver also.
Will the driver receive police protection?
We don't comment on matters of protection. So.
Thank you very much.